Chorizo time. I think we're in there, Dirk. Gacho Vida podcast, wide open live, baby. Taking phone calls, taking fucking everything. That way? Gacho Vida's in this motherfucker, boy. El Derek, Dario, Spider motherfucking G. And we got a special guest coming in about 20 minutes. When was it? 15 minutes? Yeah, but right now we're gonna check out this a little bit of this speech because Derek wants to talk about some real shit today. He said no fucking around. I said no clowning. So I can't clown today, y'all. But so we go here. What is it? No, esa no. Yeah, there it is. You fucking cocksuckers. Right? All right. Fuck. Do you do it, Dirk? Because it's not letting me. But I know why. Oh, yeah, I know why. Hold up. Don't call me that. We always got some testicle difficulties around this cocksucker, boy. All right, Derek. I got to jump out real quick. Then jump back in. Orale. All right, Derek. We're about to talk about something. We're going to talk about we're going to watch a little bit. We're going to watch a little bit of the speech from the. Tell him.
President of Salvador.
Yeah, see what he got to say. It happened today.
That speech happened today?
Yeah. Derek, you supposed to be.
Yeah, wait, yeah, on low way.
I know, but you're supposed to be talking about something right now when I'm doing
What
this.
talk about, man?
El principal afuera. We're gonna stop a little bit and we're gonna watch a little bit. Then we're gonna stop a little bit. It's just too loud. Yo, microphone check. That's the president of El Salvador. Talking shit, watch.
Thank you very much. Gracias. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you, everyone.
There. You should like.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Let's have a seat. Thank you. Let's have a seat. Thank you.
Here.
I love you too. Dear Matt and Mercy, thank you for the kind invitation to have me here at cpac. It is truly an honor to be here just a few days after our presidential and legislative elections.
Now he's like maybe 40. But that's young for a president.
Which, by the way, they pulverized the opposition.
Yes. Yes.
They say globalism comes to die at CPAC. I'm here to tell you that in El Salvador, it's already dead.
We did that.
But if you want globalism to die here too, you must be willing to unapologetically fight against everything and everyone that stands for it. Fight for your freedoms. Fight for your rights. The next president of the United States must not only win an election, he must have the vision, the will, and the courage to do whatever it takes. And above all, he must be able to identify the underlying forces that will conspire against him.
What do you think so far? There. You got any comments yet?
Not yet, man.
Dark forces are already taking over your country. You may not see it yet, but it's already happening.
Yep.
You don't see it as clearly because people are designed to see linear changes, not exponential ones. We don't always recognize how fast a problem can multiply and spiral out of control. The problem is much like the metaphor of the boiling frog. Once the water boils, it's already too late. People fail to see these things. It's our nature. Just like the frog, people become complacent and they don't realize how bad things are getting until it's too late. Well, I know, of course, El Salvador is a lot smaller country. Setting aside the differences, there's a similarity.
Hey, when you boil frogs, right?
There's a lot of differences. Right?
But when you boil frogs, why do they go to the top, and other fucking animals don't?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that the thing? What he's trying to say, that when you boil frogs,
I ain't never boiled a frog before, baby.
when you know it's done, it starts it'll start popping the in it, something like that, or is that fucking crab legs?
Mm-hmm.
With what is happening here in the United States. We also had many apparently isolated problems in the 60s and the 70s, and we failed to realize as a country the severity of them until it became a civil war. By the time we reacted, it was already too late. We were already boiled like the frog. And it took us 50 years.
That's a good metaphor. That's it.
2 wars, 250,000 lives, and a third of our population displaced, and a near miracle to get our country back.
And you.
Hey, what's up there?
Oh, I switched to H&R Block. Doing my own
H&R
taxes
Block.
online. Their new AI tax assist is so awesome. It answers
During
my
this
questions
commercial,
if I
Derek,
ever need help.
I gotta
what do
make
you
the
think?
switch.
Do your own taxes with help from AI tax.
They got a. You know who else got some badass fucking president wave? The Argentina. Watch, we're gonna go look at his president in a minute. Their president.
But it's the way. How do you go about
He
stopping the
he got rid of
gangs?
all the MS-13 in El Salvador, or all the gangs really. We just threw them all in jail.
Yeah, but how do you go about doing that, man? Unless
I mean, you can't do that type of shit here.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
As your friend, I want to issue this warning so you don't make the same mistakes we did in the 60s and the 70s. It is not easy to pull yourself back once you're in boiling water. In fact, all the experts said it was impossible.
Boiling water, right?
And besides, you don't want to wait 50 years and maybe hope for a miracle to get out of hell. You can still jump before the water boils.
Otra vez.
Some might say I'm exaggerating, but we can clearly see the signs of a declining society because our own hit rock bottom decades ago. It's like when we see someone getting sick. First, it's maybe just stomachache or a headache or a small fever. But if you don't deal with the disease, it will only get worse. And then it may be.
All right, what do you think? Should we keep watching it?
Yeah, let's watch it.
This shit's long as fuck. We'll watch another 5 minutes.
be too late. Even after our first war in El Salvador, we failed again to look into the signs of the second civil war that was coming, the gang war. After 1 million people fled the first war,
He's about to talk about that.
a lot of them came to live in ghettos here in the United States, where the gangs were formed. And former President Clinton deported a lot of those gang members without telling us they were gang members, they were criminals. They roamed free and recruited young people, thousands of young Salvadorans to join the gangs.
Look, it's because their gangs started in the United States, wait. Like Mara Salvatrucha and 18th Street. That's all. Those are the two biggest gangs they got over there.
Yeah.
Or they had, but they came from the United States, but just from people that got deported. That's what he's talking about. And then they got big as fuck down there.
They seemed like petty criminals.
But we don't get along with them.
They began to-
MS-13.
No.
They roamed free and recruited young people, thousands of young Salvadorans to join the gangs. At first, they seemed like petty criminals, but they began to change and transform until they became the unscrupulous terrorists that we know today. Most of them even perform satanic rituals, and this has been well documented. The government back then didn't deal with the disease, nor did the next administration, nor did the ones after that. The disease that had begun with mild symptoms got worse and worse. It became a cancer that seemed incurable. We are already seeing these symptoms in the United States. Big cities in decline like Baltimore, Portland, New York, just to name a few. Places where crime and drugs have become the daily norm and even accepted and promoted by the government. How many young people have you lost to the streets of Philadelphia or San Francisco?
Look, you know what's crazy? Like in the United States, all 50 states that we got, they're like countries, each one. There's like 50 countries in one country, all united. They got their own fucking laws and shit.
To fentanyl. Did we see these apocalyptic sites 15, 10, 5 years ago? Can you imagine how it will be in the next 5, 10, or 15 years? The same thing was happening in El Salvador. In the span of less than a decade, gangs took control of all the country and our society. They evolved into a parallel government, controlling elections and even political parties. Every aspect of the daily life of most people was controlled by the gangs. Murder capital of the world is a tragic title to hold. Getting rid of that was the bare minimum we had to achieve in order to even start thinking about rebuilding our country. But jumping out of the water when it's already boiling is an almost impossible feat. You are not there yet. And believe me, you don't want to be. We did the unthinkable to cleanse our society. We arrested the terrorists, but we have to remove corrupt judges and corrupt attorneys and prosecutors.
¿Qué dice el gato? So what do you think so far, Wes?
You know how small Salvador is, Wes?
Yeah, I know it. Fucking like one of our states. I think Texas is bigger than El Salvador. We'll watch 2 more minutes. I want to show you the president of Argentina.
These corrupt judges and prosecutors were setting the gang members free.
And Nancy Pelosi.
That's terrible.
And it wasn't just the gangs. The corrupt system worked in tandem with the so-called international community, the NGOs, and of course the fake news, just like it happens here in the United States. Unelected bureaucrats are trying to instate public policy. Who elected
Unelected. You know what bureaucrats means? It's like people that's in Washington D.C. that's not senators and shit. They're lawyers and they're just
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Judges.
them? They don't have a democratic mandate. If they want a seat in the table, they should run for office. Let the people vote. It will not be a pretty sight for them if the elections are free and fair. I mean, who elected Soros to dictate public policy and laws?
Soros is this billionaire dude from overseas that he be spending millions of dollars on our politicians, the Democrats, putting them in office and shit.
Why does he feel entitled to impose his agenda? Let me tell you something. Soros and his cronies hit a brick wall in El Salvador. Thank God, and all the glory be to him, Salvadorans are now immune to his influence. No one believes his lies anymore over there. We just had free and fair elections. And we won in a landslide with more than 84% of the vote. Let that sink in. More than 84% of the people voted.
It's crazy how the president of El Salvador speaks English, right?
Yeah. So does Mexico's president,
Yeah.
and Argentina's president.
No, not Argentina's president.
Silly way. Yeah, they know English way.
I just watched two more minutes.
To continue our policies. Our victory is unprecedented in the history and modern democracies in the world. They also gave us a supermajority in Congress, more than that, 54 seats out of 60. "57 if we count our allies. That's 95% of Congress. Let that also sink in. The people of El Salvador have woken up, and so can you. The global elites, they hate our success, and they fear yours. The people's free will to choose.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Hey, Donald Trump's doing that same speech right now. That same place, live. Order this midget. Midget. You want to try it again today or what?
Huh?
You want to, when you get home, call me so you can get on here again.
Okay, all right.
All right. Sorry for the rude interruption. But it's awful.
So why can't Mexico do the same thing, man? This about
I don't know.
You got too many cartels.
yeah.
That would be like the president would have to go arrest all the cartels.
That ain't gonna happen.
I know that. Ain't gonna happen.
They're trying.
It's because they're not. You can't see them like that. Like the gangs, you can see their tattoos all over their face.
Well, the cartels, man, they got a lot more money, a lot
They
more
got
equipment, guns, fucking ex-military motherfuckers, man. And over there, Salvador, man, they're just a bunch of just little gang members, man.
Look, this live right. This happened today.
Rooms packed outside of this hall. If anybody would like to give up their space, let other people come in.
They say he's like last
He does crazy shit. This one says crazy shit.
It's a tremendous celebration. Thank you very much, and hello to cpac. We've been coming here a long time. It's gotten bigger and better
CPAC
and
is
beautiful.
like the
Yeah, what is
conservatives.
Thank you very
It's the
much.
conservatives, like the
The
Republicans.
election going
the-
on today,
cons-
you
the-
probably have read a little bit about it.
Some like 80% of the Republicans. There's still another part of Republicans
And I'm
that fucking
supposed to be in
putos.
a slightly different location.
Ones that be hating Trump.
Too far away.
He
but
calls them rhinos
Nevertheless, it's different. And
because they're half donkey and half elephant.
have to be at CPAC today. Have to be there. And I want to thank Matt and Mercedes Schlapp, two great people, along with the entire staff. Thank you very much, Mercedes. Thanks, Matt.
Let's watch
The
a little 2 minutes of
entire
this. And then
staff of the
let's watch a
American
little bit.
Conservative Union.
All
That's what it is. It's a conservative union. It's also a
see,
union
he's
of
explaining what it
common
is right there.
sense. I've been saying
You
it
hear
more
it?
and more. You know, conservative, it's common sense. And I don't know, maybe we'll have to put that, Matt, on the bottom of that.
Yeah.
A group of people with common sense to save our country and make America great again. It's pretty simple, isn't it, huh? We have a tremendous group of dignitaries, leaders, world leaders, and local leaders, but we have from all over the world people with us right now at this moment.
He's close to 82.
Yeah,
I mean, to
President
being
Trump,
80.
you, President
Yeah,
of
so
our
You think he
He's
fucking
gotten a lot of
does he
publicity.
show it like Joe Biden? No?
He's
No.
gotten a lot. He's a great
Joe Biden
gentleman.
is gone.
You know, he's MAGA. He's MAGA. Make Argentina great again. It's true.
What are you talking about there?
No, and he said, I am MAGA. And then I realized he's one of the few can really do it well. Make Argentina great again. A lot. He's a great gentleman.
What
You
is
know,
that there?
city. He's gotten a lot. He's a great
That's that dude I was just
gentleman.
about to show you.
You know, he's
Yeah.
MAGA. He's MAGA. Make Argentina great again. It's true. No, and he said, I am MAGA. And then I realized he's one of the few can really do it well. Make Argentina great again. Javier Milei. Thank you very
That
much,
fool's a fool,
Javier.
boy.
Thank you.
We're gonna
Thank you
watch a
very
little bit of
much.
this shit.
It's a great honor to have him with us. Senator J.D. Vance. He's doing a fantastic job. Thank you, J.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products.
JD. Congressman Corey Mills. Thank you. A very powerful competitor of mine. He is a quick one. He's a smart one. Vivek. Where's Vivek? Ramaswamy. Thank
You know him,
He
man.
endorsed me. When he
That Indian
endorsed
fool?
me, I said, that's a great endorsement. Thank you, Vivek.
That's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Former senator and somebody that's been very nice to me over the years. I don't know why, but he has. Rick Santorum. Thank you, Rick. Where is Rick? Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Former acting attorney general,
I'm for it,
somebody
son,
that's
'cause he
been
just-
very. Thank you, Stephen.
He's just giving props right now.
Guy, an incredible mind, loves introducing people. I'm not going to win it this year. I've won it like 9. Tom always looks good. I don't know. I think he does that weightlifting stuff, Tom, right? But Bannon looks good. We love Steve. We love them all. We love them all. We have so many others in the audience, and I want to say hello, but we have to get down to business, 'cause I
Yeah,
wanna
Pluto,
win
you gotta
the
get to the
award as
point.
Best, whatever the hell they call it, the best speaker, I think they say. Who made the best speech? And if I keep introducing people, I'm not going to win it this year. I've won it like 9 years in a row, right? I got to get going. So thank you, everybody,
You
for
get
being
what he
here. We
said?
appreciate it very
He
much.
can't keep giving props because he's trying to get the
We
best speech of the
appreciate it
fucking
very
night.
much. Gorka, did I see the Gorka man? Yes, stand up, Gorka. Quick, get up. How good is he? Sebastian? Seb. They call him Seb. I call him Sebastian. Thank you, Sebastian. I just spotted you. It's lucky you're nice and tall. 4 years ago, I told you that if crooked Joe Biden got to the White House, our borders would be abolished, our middle class would be decimated, and our communities would be plagued by bloodshed, chaos, and violent crime. We were right about everything. So believe me when I offer you another warning, and we've been right about so much, just about everything. If crooked Joe Biden and his thugs win in 2024, the worst is yet to come. Our country will go and sink to levels that were unimaginable. And just think about it. With 4 more years of Biden, the hordes of illegal aliens stampeding across our borders will exceed 40 to 50 million people. Medicare, Social Security, health care, and public education will buckle and collapse. It will collapse as sure as you're sitting or standing there. It will collapse. Our economy will be starved of energy by crooked Joe's vindictive Green New Scam. It's a Green New Scam. It'll be the destruction of our country. It is indeed a scam, and most of them know it. Some of them, the fools, believe it. but most of them know it. Millions of manufacturing jobs will be choked off into extinction, and you'll have constant blockouts.
I'm about to forward some more.
blackouts, and
All right?
rampant
'Cause we
inflation.
can't watch the whole thing.
Ruthless gangs and fascists. A vote for Trump is your ticket back to freedom. They couldn't get any more fuel than that. It's all happening. And if we don't stop it, this is it. 2024. If we don't stop it, this is our last train. If we don't stop it, we're going to have a country. It won't even be a country. You want to know the truth? It won't even be a country. It's breaking up. If we can break out of the Biden nightmare, and it is a nightmare, he's the most incompetent person. Can you imagine this man who can't walk off a stage? He can't find the stairs.
Can't wait.
Where are
Can't
the
what?
stairs?
Can't find the
walk off
stairs.
He makes
stage.
a 2-minute speech because
Así
that's
hago, güey.
they couldn't get any more fuel than that. Whatever happened to the cocaine they found in the White House?
God
What happened to
damn.
the
Where is
cocaine
it?
they found at the White House? They found cocaine in the White House.
By the way, I have to say, because I have such respect for this audience and CPAC, I would have never spoken, and I never did, about him because of my respect for the office of the president. I have great respect for that office. But once I got indicted the first time, remember that? I got indicted and I got impeached twice. We won that. And we'll win all of this stuff. But once I got indicted, I said, well, now the gloves have to come off because they did something. Those, the fake news before these indictments came, the fake news, almost every one of, well, he'll never be indicted. You don't do that. He was a very popular president. I got more votes than any sitting president in history, at almost 75 million votes. Substantially more than any other sitting president has gotten. And they would say, oh, no, he'll never be indicted. These are people that, some of them truly have Trump derangement syndrome. And they were saying, he'll never be indicted. They won't do that. They'll never. He did it. They did it. They actually, and it was all done by him in order to go after your political opponent so that you can damage him enough that you can maybe win. But it's had the reverse effect because our poll numbers have gone through the roof. Can you believe this? They've gone through the roof. That wasn't supposed to happen. And it's probably never happened before. I've watched over the years as politicians get indicted. And they start by going to a microphone about 2 minutes after it happens. Ladies and gentlemen, I would be resigning from office today. And I will go home with my family, my friends, and I will fight for my name. Well, that's the last you ever hear from that poor guy. And with me, we have a big voice. You can see by this crowd today. Look at that. Standing room only. They're all over the place. They have 3 rooms like this. And I have a voice that I can explain it all, like the laptop from hell when they impeached me. And it turned out I was right after going through all that. And now they say, we shouldn't have impeached him. He was right because the laptop from hell showed that I was 100% right. All of these things, we were right on all of it. But we're in a very bad path. It's a very, very dangerous path.
There's one simple sugar hack anyone can do to balance glucose levels almost overnight.
It's low, ain't it?
Did you know that type 2 diabetes is a complete...
I'll go a different one. It's one of those.
Who can't walk off a stage, he can't find the stairs. Prisoners and our horrible, violent criminals because they're nicer than the people that are flowing in. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from all over the world, coming from Africa. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. As a country, we're not going to stand for it anymore. They're destroying our country. And we built 5, think of it. We had the safest border 3 years ago. We had the safest border in the history of our country. Now we have the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a 1, 2. but it's going to have to be very strong action. It's going to have to happen fast before our country is.
That's what I said,
totally
Primo. Like some of this shit, man. He
Your
says
victory
stupid
will
shit.
be
Like,
our
Shit.
ultimate vindication.
Primo, he
Your
said 3 years
liberty will
ago
be our
the
ultimate
border
reward,
was safer than it has ever been.
this
Man.
is a
It was.
personal
No, it wasn't, man. What the fuck are you tripping?
And they know that in their country.
It's because they've been having a law where they catch and release. They catch people and then they
I'm
release them
talking
into the United
about
States.
the borderway.
All right.
They would be dead.
We'll talk about it another time. Off air.
Stay away.
Salvador, they just suck, but now it's just most.
I mean, a lot of the shit he's saying is true, man.
It's not my thing, but they're handsome.
This shit's even lower than the other one.
Yeah, it's got
Not
to.
even a
You
little.
can't even hear
They
it.
are handsome. Central casting.
When you have auto glass damage, trust SafeLight. In one easy appointment, we can replace your windshield and recalibrate your advanced safety system.
Great, thanks.
Stay safe with SafeLight. Schedule now.
SafeLight repair, SafeLight replace. Tempur-Pedic designed the
Come on,
Ergo
you
Pro
fucking
Smart
pricks.
Bed to help you fall
They've been
asleep
doing that
more
shit
easily.
anyway.
Ready to make America great again.
Liberty cannot be preserved.
Every country. We have countries that honestly nobody has ever heard of. We have languages coming into our country. We don't have one instructor in our entire nation that can speak that language. These are languages. It's the craziest thing. They have languages that nobody in this country has ever heard of. It's a very horrible
He's
thing.
talking
I
about
said to the
languages, right?
president of Mexico,
He's
"You're
talking
gonna have
about
to
so
give
many
us
people coming in
28,000
from so many
soldiers
different places that some of them,
Oh, okay.
some of them
Yeah.
speak languages that we don't even know.
Just free of charge." No, 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 Donald, I will not do that. I will not do that. I cannot do that. And I said, no, you will. You will, I promise. Are you going to do it? No, I will not do it. I said, listen, you and I friends, I really like him a lot. So I said, let's not you and I. Just give me a negotiator because I don't want to do this with you. And he said, I will do that. And he sent me this very handsome guy, very guy. So handsome, so beautifully dressed. In fact, I asked him for the name of his tailor. Then when I found out how much he paid for the suit, I said, forget it. But he was a handsome devil. And I said, listen, you're going to have to do a few things. You're going to have to give me 28,000 soldiers. You know, Tom Homan was up before. He's fantastic. And he does go around saying, I love this guy. He says, Trump was the greatest president in history. And on the border, there has never been in his lifetime any president that was even close. And he's right about that. He's right. I mean, we know the results. But Brandon Judd, you have unbelievable people. All they had to do is leave it alone. But I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. No. Then the new guy comes in, the representative. Yes, sir. What can I do? Now, I asked Tom Homan, Brandon Judd, and a person from the State Department, a wonderful woman. She's been there for over 20 years. She's covered Mexico for over 20 years. She knew it. And she was competent. She was good. She wasn't a good negotiator. And I said, what would you like? Give me your top. I want a top 10 list. Well, sir, we'd like to remain in Mexico, but we've been trying to get that for years. You won't be able to get that, and you won't be able to get catch and release in Mexico. You know, we have catch and release, and we catch a criminal and we release them in our country. I said, no. Catch and release is fine in Mexico. Title 42, I want. That's with the sick people and with the children. You've got to get the children back to their parents. All of these things. They gave me a list. But they thought they were wasting time. It was a list of 10 things, tough things. Just ask Tijuana if they were tough. Tijuana became one of the largest cities in the world all of a sudden. They said, what the hell is going on? So this guy comes in, and I say, look,
all the people that would
number
release
one,
back
I
in
want
there.
28,000 soldiers free of charge. And he goes, oh, we're not going to do that. We're not doing it. He thought I was crazy, by the way. I said, oh, no, you're going to do it, 100%. No, we're not going to do it. I said, you're going to do it. I guarantee you, you're going to do it. He goes, no way. I said, way.
I said,
And he said, we will not do that, sir. We will not do that. I said, here's what else you're going to do. Remain in Mexico. Nobody comes into our country until they're checked at the border. You're going to do remain in Mexico. You're going to do catch and release into Mexico, not into our country. You're going to do all sorts of things. You know, we had a lot of medical problems. People were coming in deathly sick with a disease, highly contagious disease. I said, I don't want our people catching these diseases that we never even heard about. They have diseases nobody's ever even heard about. Sorry. I feel badly for the people, but we don't want to have this
They probably do, though.
contagion in our country. I'm sorry. And we did that. So we had a list of these 10 things, one tougher than the next. And he said, we're not even going to think about this. And the person from the State Department, this really good woman, but she said, sir, you're just going to be wasting your time. And I said, all right. I said, I'll make you a little bet. I'll bet you I get all 10 within minutes. And she thought I was crazy too. So after he said, no way, I said, way. And then I said, here is what's going to happen. If you don't approve this and if you don't give us those soldiers, and their soldiers are not politically correct. You know, our soldiers, if you say, excuse me, madam, you're not supposed to be entering our country. Ma'am, please don't enter our country. Then they get indicted because they talk to her too rough, you know. We have the greatest soldiers in the world, but they're not allowed to do their job. I proved that with ISIS. Our soldiers knocked the hell out of ISIS once I took over and took it away from our fake television generals. We have great generals, but not the ones like Milley and these guys on television. They're fake. I had generals that were really tough. I had generals that I had to hold back, okay? We have great military, and it's only woke at the top. I don't think it can ever be woke.
Have you considered going solar in Kansas, but afraid of the
What do you think so
price
far?
tag attached? Most people don't know this, but almost
I
100%.
think he's good at, you know,
at the lower
Talking
levels.
shit.
putting
These are
pressure.
great
No, he's
people,
putting
tough
pressure
people. I really don't believe they could do it.
on the Mexican government. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's see. He's still not finished with that.
Only at the top.
That story.
And remember, when I let them go, 4 weeks. We were told 4 years.
He
and
talks
it
like
probably
Leroy
can't be
sometimes.
done. I knocked it out in 4 weeks. Our military is great. I said to one of the generals, what's your name? Kane, sir. My name is Kane. He looked better than any movie actor you could get.
See, he's not even.
My
He
name
don't
is
read.
Kane,
He
sir.
don't read no script.
I
He
said,
just
all
goes.
right,
He
Kane,
goes
what's
off
your
ahead
first
with it.
name? They call me Raisin. I said, what? Raisin, sir. Your name is Raisin Kane? Yes, sir. I love you. You're the man I'm looking for.
Raising King.
You're the man I'm looking for. And I said, why is ISIS so tough? He said, they're not tough, sir. They just don't let us do our job. I said, why not? He said, because this is after I flew to Iraq. You know, I flew to Iraq. In a
He's
plane.
jumping to other
Some of
stories.
you
He hasn't
know
even
the
finished the other
It was
story
all
yet.
dark after spending
He
40
already
years
forgot about it.
and $1 trillion. We can't turn the lights on in a plane. I sat with the pilots, the most handsome human beings I've ever seen. It's not my thing, but they're handsome. Not my thing. Not even a little bit, but they are handsome. Central casting.
Not even a little bit.
Better looking than Tom Cruise and taller. Okay, let's do it. So I'll deviate on the story. Now, by the way, when I deviate, they'll say, oh, he went from, no. A really smart person can go through various stories, always come back and conclude everything. Okay.
I thought he forgot about the Mexico. He ain't forgot yet.
Don't worry, we'll get back to the.
It's right there.
We'll get back to Mexico. But this is almost right now. This is more exciting.
Farther. Farther.
So the planes off. I said, why are you doing that? Because sir, we're flying over an area that's very dangerous.
Hey, I'll call you back.
We spent 20 years eradicating. And
What?
so I said, I want to go sit with the pilots because I often
Hold
do
on, I'll
that.
call you back.
And I'm sitting.
As soon as I get it, I'm gonna
with
do
the
it.
pilots,
And
and
then
I
I'll-
get up there. I'm
All
feeling
right.
my way up, and the plane was absolutely dark. No lights on the outside, no lights on the inside.
This is a piece of food.
It was a little spooky. We're up there.
Hey, just we thought he
Forgot
jumped to
about
2,
that.
3.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
jumped one story. He started jumping another one. And I was like, he really forgot about Mexico now.
Nah, he caught himself.
But
bro,
yeah, he
because
said-
he knew. He's like, damn, I forgot I was.
Yeah, look. Tell me about it. That was funny.
And took it away from our fake television generals. We have great generals, but not the ones like Milley and these guys on television. They're fake. I had generals that were really tough. I had generals that I had to hold back, okay?
Yeah, he
We
went
have
too
great
far back, man.
military, and it's only woke at the top. I don't think it can ever be
Can you hear it?
wokenized at the lower levels because these are great people, tough people. I really don't believe they could do it. It was only at the top. And remember, when I let them go, 4 weeks. We were told 4 years, and it probably can't be done. I knocked it out in 4 weeks. Our military is
He's
great.
already on 3.
I said to
stories
one of the
ahead.
generals, what's your name? Kane, sir. My name is Kane. He looked better than any movie actor you could get. My name is Kane, sir. I said, all right, Kane, what's your first name? They call me Raisin. I said, what? Raisin, sir. Your name is Raisin Kane? Yes, sir. I love you. You're the man I'm looking for. You're the man I'm looking for. And I said, why is ISIS so tough? He said, they're not tough, sir. They just don't let us do our job. I said, why not? He said, because this is after I flew to Iraq. You know, I flew to Iraq. On a plane. Some of you know the story. It was all dark. After spending 20 years and $1 trillion, we can't turn the lights on in a plane. I sat with the pilots, the most handsome human beings I've ever seen. It's not my thing, but they're handsome. Not my thing. Not even a little bit, but they are handsome. Central casting. Better looking than Tom Cruise and taller. Okay, let's do it. So
Everybody right there's like, he forgot
I'll
about
deviate on the story. Now, by the way, when I deviate, they'll say, oh, he went from, no. A really smart person can go through various stories, always come back and conclude everything. Okay.
I love those guys.
Don't worry, we'll get back to Mexico. But this is almost, right now, this is more exciting. So the plane's off. I say, why are you doing that? Because, sir, we're flying over an area that
I hate and love telling people that they got the Congress they voted for.
Pay your fucking bill that here.
it's very dangerous, where we spent 20 years eradicating. And so I said, I want to go sit with the pilots, because I often do that. And I'm sitting with the pilots, and I get up there, I'm feeling my way up. And the plane was absolutely dark, no lights on the outside, no lights on the inside. It was a little spooky. We're up there 40,000 feet getting ready
Want me to go to the other
start
one now?
going down, and they're telling us we can't have any lights, no lights in your cabin, sir.
He lost you.
And then they pull down the shades anyway. So I'm sort of feeling my way. I get up there, and I see this captain with the crew cut, the whole deal he's got. Yes, sir. It's an honor to be with you, sir. And I said, Captain, I don't see any lights. You know, we're getting close. Is there a problem out there, Captain? No, sir. We'll be landing in less than 30 minutes, sir. I say, all right. And I'm sitting in a seat that's right in the back between these two handsome human beings. And, you know, they always give the best pilots, Air Force One and Marine One, the helicopters, which is good. One thing you know, you got great pilots. These are the best. And so he said, no problem, sir. We'll be landing in a little while. And then 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes. I haven't seen one light. There's nothing. It's like, and I'm getting a little nervous. You know, do you ever see?
Anyway.
I'm trying to act cool as a cucumber. And it's, if you know anything about planes, you have the computer. I call it the computer voice. It's the most beautiful voice. If I had that voice, I would have been president 20 years earlier. But the most beautiful voice,
He's honest
so
about it, though.
professional. 1,000. That means you're 1,000 feet over the ground. Now, I haven't seen a light. I haven't seen anything. It's just dead. There's not anything. That means we're like really low. We have this massive plane. We're just right off the ground. Then it goes 900, 800, 700, 600. Now we're 600 feet off the ground. We're flying and the plane is dark with the exception of a tiny little light that they've got on their dashboard underneath everything and totally concealed. There's not a light anywhere.
So they
I've never
can't
seen
see
anything. It was like dark.
Yeah, so you won't get shot.
500. I said, Captain, are we okay, Captain? Everything fine? Yes, sir. No problem. We'll be on the ground in just a few minutes, sir. I say, what ground? So 400, 300, 200. Captain, are we okay? Yes, sir. We'll be landing momentarily, sir. 100. Now, usually when you're in these planes, I do it a lot. You have lights bursting, big lights. You got a runway. It's lit up like a candle. There's not one light. There's not even a little, what they call a pigeon light. That's a tiny little light. 100. And I want to ask him again, but I want to show some bravery. Because I thought we were going down for the count. And then all of a sudden, and it's genius, there is no light. And then all of a sudden, 100, and then bing, beautiful landing like nothing to it. Sir, it was an honor to be with you today, sir. Thank you, Captain. Does anybody have a towel? I'm saying, does anybody have a towel? I need a towel.
And some toilet paper. He fucking shit his pants. In it.
So now I'm walking out and getting ready to go down and meet the generals in Iraq to find out why we're not defeating ISIS. And I see my staff and I say, that was quite an experience I just had.
He just had in his pants.
Yeah,
He just shit in his pants.
And I said, let me ask you a question. Is the President of the United States allowed to give himself the Congressional Medal of Honor for bravery? Because I did a very brave thing. I was so brave. Am I allowed to do it? And they said, sir, it would not be a good thing to do.
Yes, sir.
Now, here's the problem with that story. The fake news media will lead tomorrow. Donald Trump wanted to give himself the Congressional Medal of Honor. It's true. It's true. When I imitate Biden, who can't find the stairs ever. You know, you have so many stairs in there. You got one there, you got ramps, you got everything. Here you only have 2 or 3 stairs. Sometimes you have 6, 7 stairs. The craziest thing, what a waste of money. My father would say, what the hell are they doing? All you need is 1 stair. But for Biden, you need many. But when I imitate him with the stairs, because he never can find his way. If you ever see Secret Service runs up and grabs him and helps him off the stage. This is what we have negotiating nuclear weapons. So he finishes his speech, and do you ever notice? He finishes it. The speeches last about, would you say, average 2-3 minutes, right? Very quick. They're very quick and not good. Not good. But the press gives him good marks. I remember when he made such a bad State of the Union speech. Everything was stumbling, mumbling. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. And I said, I'm going to watch CNN, MSDNC to find out what they say, because that was one of the worst speeches. They said, not since FDR has there been a speech so magnificently delivered. I'm telling you, I've never, ever forgotten it. Not since FDR. I said, it's impossible. They're fake. They're terrible. But you know what? When he goes, and he always points, he goes like this. Thank you. Where am I? Thank you. And then he goes,
hey, you have an hour this week, right? Yeah. Great. I can teach you how to play 100 songs on piano in an hour. No way. All you need to learn is 4.
And he points. You ever notice? And it's always he ends up going in the opposite direction ultimately. But he goes, and then sometimes he trips over the. Then we don't have it here. But if there's a wall behind him, he ends up walking into the wall. And then one of these incredible guys from Secret Service, all these beautiful guys, they run up stage. Look at these guys, like central casting, right? They'll run up stage, they'll grab them, and they're not meant to smile. You know, they're very hard line. When I tell stories, they're like this. I guess they're trained that way. They never smile. You say, good morning. Good morning, sir. They actually turn away. It's good. This way you don't have to say good morning all the time, okay? No, they train them this way. But so one of these guys will run up and grab them and take them off the stage. This is what we have as our president. But the worst thing is when I do that, the fake news, I call up my wife, our great first lady. She was a great first. People love her. Yeah, people love her. Oh, look at that. Wow. Mercedes, that's pretty good. Yeah, she's good.
Have you seen her lately?
Yeah, too bad.
Huh?
And she loves our country and she loves the
What?
people. It's
Yeah,
good. When I give these big rallies, we give rallies, they say, we love our first lady. They have signs, we love her. They always show high heels, you know. We love our first lady. But I call up our first lady, I say, so baby, how good was that? She goes, you were okay. She's a very tough critic. I'll go into a group, I'll speak in front of 55, 56, 68,000 people sometimes. I'll call her up, I'll say, how good was I tonight? Was that unbelievable? She goes, well, your hair didn't look good. That's not.
It never does.
But it's very hard to get like, once in a while she goes, you were really good tonight. But that's like a major. But I said, in this case, I said, how good was that tonight? She said, you were really good tonight, but what happened? You couldn't find your way off the stage. Because the fake news said Donald Trump couldn't find his way off the stage. I said, wow. Or when I interject a name, like I go, our president, Barack Hussein Obama. Rush Limbaugh, remember? He would always, right, Seb? Rush would go, Barack Hussein. You couldn't hear Barack or Obama, but the name Hussein, he'd be screaming. I don't know exactly what he meant by that. I think I do. But he'd go, Barack Hussein. So I'd go, Barack Hussein Obama, our president has done this. Now, I meant that because there are those people that say he's running our country because Joe is not strong on aptitude. So there are those. We don't know that that's true. But they go out and they say, Donald Trump, headline. Donald Trump doesn't know who the president of our country. He thinks Obama's the president, Lou. Eh? Look at the great Lou Dobbs. He thinks Obama is the president. So when I'm sarcastic, because I'm sort of a sarcastic guy, I find humor in sarcasm, but it's very dangerous because they take it very seriously. But it's a very serious subject because of what happened. To finish the first story, what happened? Hey, by the way, isn't this better than reading off a frickin' teleprompter? Right? Right? Anybody can do that except for Biden. Anybody can read off a teleprompter except for Biden. He can't do that either.
Yeah,
he can't do that either.
Before this make it to Mexico, man.
Yes, question.
No, I want to show you that other president, Argentina dude. Ese. This dude's a food. How do you spell pajuera? R. How you spell afuera, Derek? Afuera, there it is.
Feel confident your taxes are done right with TurboTax Live Experts. 100% accuracy guaranteed.
Wild story. Rob, can you play one of the clips? Let's go to the clip of him giving the message with the lady he's doing an interview with.
Watch this.
There.
You know Spanish. You know Spanish, so you're going to be able to
just
understand.
read the caption. First of all, he looks like an Argentinian Elvis Presley.
Yeah. When he said the
watch
left,
what he's saying.
he
Read
calls
the
him
captions.
zurdo.
Go for it.
It's a wild man.
You know what I mean?
Zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
¿Me podés definir zurdo de mierda? Que no
Todos los que,
entiendo?
digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea. A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda. O sea, no, pero es que si pensás
This is when he was running for president, but he won though.
Pones de mierda, digamos.
Porque son una mierda. O sea,
He's talking about the Democrats.
Pero si pensás distinto, te van a aniquilar. Ese es el punto. Es decir, vos al zurdo no le podés dar un milímetro, porque le das un milímetro y lo toma para destrozarte. Es decir, digamos, o sea, vos no podés negociar con el zurdo. No se negocia. No se negocia con esa mierda, no se negocia porque te van a llevar puesto. Si tienen un golpeador que caga trompadas a la mujer, digamos, si es de ellos, ¿entendés? Se pone el pañuelito verde y grita todo el tiempo contra el neoliberalismo, lo ocultan. ¿Me entendés? O sea, si de repente hay alguien que acosó a una periodista que acosa a otra periodista, lo ocultan. Es decir, a todos los de ellos lo ocultan. Todas esas aberraciones la ocultan. Ahora, si vos estás del otro lado, a vos te van a estropear. Te van a matar, te van a dar con lo que sea. No les importa arruinarte la vida. ¿Por qué? Porque no pensás como ellos. Y ¿sabes qué es lo bueno de todo esto? Hay algo bueno en todo esto. Porque como el error es humano, como todos nos podemos equivocar, ¿sabes qué nos obligan? Nos obligan a ser mejores. Y como estamos siendo tan mejores que ellos, como los estamos aplastando en la batalla cultural, los estamos pasando de arriba, porque no solo le ganamos en lo productivo, somos superiores moralmente, somos superiores estéticamente, somos mejores en todo. Y les duele, les duele. Entonces, como no pueden pelear con las herramientas legítimas, se apalancan en el aparato represivo del Estado, poniendo torres de guita para hacernos mierda. Por primera vez.
He won this election, which stealing is
of him pulling all the tapes off and off the wall. This is fantastic. Watch this one here.
This one he was running too.
Bueno, lo primero que tenemos que entender es que el Estado no es la solución. El Estado es el problema. Ustedes, si se fijan acá, tienen la gran raviolada que es el Estado, el gran curro y la fuente de la decadencia argentina, que es el Estado. Esta es la foto del Estado que tenemos hoy. Si nos movemos hacia aquella pizarra, Ministerio de Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Aunque te resistas. Vamos a seguir por acá. Ministerio de Ciencia y Tecnología e Innovación. Nada bueno salió del sector público. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Trabajo, Empleo y Seguridad Social. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Educación. Adoctrinamiento. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Transporte. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Salud. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Desarrollo Social. ¡Afuera! ¿Cómo queda el Estado? Ministerio de Capital Humano, Ministerio de Infraestructura, Ministerio de Economía, Ministerio de Justicia, Ministerio de Seguridad, Ministerio de Defensa, Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores y Ministerio del Interior.
That's all they need.
Se acabó el curro de la política. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
Oh my God, this guy's a rock star.
Check this out. Rob, you have what happened in our booking meeting yesterday. I think you guys got to watch this. Watch this here, the booking meeting yesterday. Very important clip. Go for it.
Mira, tú sabes, mira, yo soy un cabrón mira, from gender studies. Mira, yo no sé, mira, afuera.
Look at my hair.
Listen.
Watch. It's on fire. He's on fire. Vinny's inspired.
Vinny, that's awesome.
Man.
I'm worried, Pat. I think Vinny wore the uniform for the USA. I'm worried he's going to defect.
So, Tom, what do you think about when you see this candidate, Argentina, what's happening to the world?
Let's see what this guy's going to say. Watch it.
I agree with what Roger just said, is that this guy
Yeah.
understands the symbolism and he understands how he's communicating. And he as a third party gets 56%, 55.7% of the voting populace who are being rocked by three things: unemployment, inflation, and zero vision for the country. You look at and that angst is living under there. Is Argentina, where are we going? Are we going to be this economic light for Latin America? There's no vision. There's no vision coming from the leader.
Ven acorralados los zurdos de mierda.
Okay, what's your reaction when you see this, first of all?
The only thing worse in politics than being wrong is being boring. This guy is never boring.
Yeah.
So he understands that politics is entertainment. If you can't entertain the people, if you can't get their attention, then you can't educate them and you can't persuade them. At the same time, he's genuine. I mean, that's really him. I mean, this guy.
Yeah, he's a true believer. You can tell.
He fronted a Rolling Stones rock band for years. His dog is named Milton Friedman. He is a radical libertarian. He is well versed, in Mises and Hayek. He's put forward an extraordinarily radical agenda. He understands symbolism. He shows up with a chainsaw at one of his press conferences. He dresses in superhero costumes, and he's right. Socialism has brought their country triple-digit inflation, a looming recession, and new levels of poverty. So, I mean, the guy
His hands
is
are white
he's
as well.
on fire. And it's people don't recognize two important things. One, he's not from either one of the two major dominant parties who've dominated Argentine politics for the last 40 years. He's actually a third party won this election, which
That's
has
the first
never
time.
happened before there or here. And
Or anywhere.
secondarily, Argentina has 100% paper ballots. There are no voting machines, and they tabulate all their ballots on election day that night. Now, that is not to say that vote stealing is unknown, which it just simply means that you have to have a very aggressive poll watching operation to make sure that no paper ballots are stolen. So I thought he might win. The polling was
We don't have
much
paper ballots.
closer, but
We got fucking
he's
voting
really
machines that they hack into and fucking. Man, that's some bullshit. Don't get me started, Issy. All right. Look, we got exactly 25 people in here, Issy. What's up? That was a good show.
Yeah, it was interesting.
We'll cut it up. I'm talking about we're gonna end it.
No. Well, we can.
We can end it and start another one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.